sleepy, but wifey. Good morning, Nikki. Morning, Britt. Starliner. How are y'all this morning? I thought I'd come on a little bit. Not very long, because part of it I'll be getting ready for work, so. But I'll be able to talk to y'all. So I believe I set up an event for, I'm not sure if I got it right or not. But I set up an event for Friday. If I did it right, you should be able to register. If I didn't, just let me know and I can fix it. Morning, Mandy. Morning, Sally. Good morning, Pearly. Oh, that's my full pack. The hell? Did I open 2 packs of cigarettes? I sure fucking did. The fuck?
I'm sorry, I had a call. No,
It's on my bio. Okay.
I never seen like scheduled events. I just know that they go live and they talk about it and promote it and then usually they just go live that day and it happens. I've never seen a scheduled event before.
Okay, so if you click on my photo, it says live event, and there should be a button there to where you can register for it. That's really just basically in there to where you can register for it. That's really just basically giving me an idea of how many people plan on showing up.
And then once you hit register for that event, it will send you a notification before it starts.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm also going to put out a post about it as well. So when I do that, I'll probably do that this afternoon before I go live. And if y'all want afternoon before I go live, and if y'all want to repost that and share it out as well, I would appreciate it. And I think I plan on doing a couple, like 2 or 3 battles afterwards, and do those for Meemaw.
I just went registered.
Okay, thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
So I got to spend the majority of the day with you yesterday, but when you went to fix supper and come back, what did anything?
TikTok normally doesn't.
Oh no, I knew about that story. I'm
Oh.
talking about. Did they have a word of the day for you?
Oh no, no. Yes. Fucking rude. So mean. I told everybody to behave while I was gone,
I
not
was,
conspire against me.
but I was peer pressured into doing it.
Uh-huh.
In Paroli's defense, she was not in the box when the plan was made.
They made it.
I came back. It was weird because I came back and it's like everybody started asking me questions like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. And then they just kept asking me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden people were changing into the gingerbread cookie. And I'm like, the fuck is going on?
I had nightmares.
I'm like, did I fall and hit my head and just don't remember?
It was the attack of the gingerbread people.
Well, and then
It was the attack of the gingerbread people.
well, and then shut
It,
the front door was buying friendship in the chat while you were out.
It was what?
Buying friendship. He was loading coins for his whisper party so the husbands.
You were not behaving, not at all.
I
And I don't
kind
even
of
know why. I don't even know why Robin was.
I
And I don't
kind
even
of
know why. I don't even know why Robin was telling me like to say the word.
because if the thing was, if you said the word, they were all on the agreement that they were dropping out the boxes. Okay, so she was trying to get you to say
Oh,
the word because
so she wanted y'all to drop out of the boxes.
that was the plan. Robbie said they were going to get you back by once you said the word, they were all dropping out the boxes, and I told them. This is not a good idea to plan something on T because I guarantee y'all, Mr. T sitting on that couch listening to every one of y'all, and what y'all, Mr. T sitting on that couch listening to every one of y'all, and what y'all are saying. And I said, if Mr. T's not, Bruno sure is, and he's somebody's cattle. I tried to tell him. It was peer pressure. Yep, peer pressure all the way.
You did say in the chat. You told them. You said, Mr. Chase is listening. And then they tried to accuse Robin of texting you to say that, this was going to be the word, so don't say it or whatever. It was a mess. It was a mess. And Jenny was like, I did not tell Robin. She doesn't even know the word. It was funny.
Revenge is gonna be so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
shall
So
someone
let
may
sweet.
pay more than $5 for Robbie today.
T. You shall let me know all about it.
Yes, I will.
It was just good, clean fun, though.
Yeah.
That's what people can't handle. They don't like the fun.
Yeah, look, I can dish it out so I can take it.
Mm-hmm. They don't enjoy my Fancy Nancy and Gunkle stories.
It, it was clean fun till you had nightmares from the gingerbread people.
Well,
God.
I was already off for the day by then. I just moved
Yeah,
Monday.
but did you come back in last night? Because there were still gingerbread people.
No, I didn't because
Last night, because there were still gingerbread people.
no, I didn't because um, we literally just moved last Monday, and
Oh,
we're still trying to get everything set up. We're in a brand new house, like we had to hang, and
oh.
we're still trying to get everything set up. We're in a brand new house, like we had to hang blinds, we had to hang trying to shower curtain rods. We've had to do everything.
Oh.
So every evening I'll listen in while I'm at work, and then every evening I'm having to work on the house, work on unpack the boxes, working on putting stuff together. So it's been a mess. But when the meetup happens, I'm really close to the meetup location now. I'm not in Kentucky anymore.
So I get off at 4 today. Good morning, Jamaica son. How are you? Good morning, everybody.
So how long are we going to be left unattended? Because I'm going hide.
From 10, I'll leave here at probably in about 40 minutes. So from 10 to 4 is my scheduled shift.
Okay, chat. Okay, chat. I will be hiding. Don't look for me.
Somebody's going to have to go live to entertain us.
I'm going to be in my room.
We
In
have,
my little room.
we have to have somewhere to hang out.
I know Dora's gonna be working, and I imagine since this new bill passed.
Did it pass?
Yeah.
Yet.
I imagine things are fixing to get crazy for her.
Oh
Yeah.
no, Dawn, don't start that. I'm going in my room.
I work in the same field as Dora. I just do
Yeah.
the big coding, and one of my hospital facilities that I work for, like 9 of their 14 facilities is scheduled to close in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a call. I'm going on mute.
It's gonna be bad. A lot of people out of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We're fucking unalive in America. Slowly but surely.
It is. It's terrible. Is the cookout too? Shut the front door. The big beautiful bill. The big.
It's sad because we can send billions of dollars to other countries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But can't help our people right here at home. That's what's. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I feel so sorry for them. Like, what? I mean, they're going to have to travel further to receive care. And they're literally putting their lives at risk to go further to receive the care. But they're not going to have any insurance to pay for it. So, how are they going to manage the chronic conditions to keep these people from dying?
Were they trying to save money for the
Mm-hmm.
budget, or
Yeah.
trying to save money for the
Mm-hmm.
budget, or
Yeah. they're trying to cut Medicaid programs so that the state can save, or the federal can save money, not just state. But they're going to spend that money on something else. Like, they're going to send it to BFE or whatever.
Oh, hold on a second. Oh, hold on a second. Oh,
And there was like some crazy stuff in it too that people didn't really understand what that was.
I'm literally listening to all these noise, and I'm over here going, feel the vibration. Oh, it's been a morning already. T's new song when her phone goes off. Dora.
And the big beautiful bill is there's no taxes to be paid on overtime wages.
I thought that had already started.
It was in this big beautiful bill that they just passed last night. The beautiful bill that they just passed last night.
Because I noticed when, like, right when he went into office and all that, and he stopped the taxes coming out of the checks or whatnot, I think it took like a day or so, and I stopped seeing them come out of my check. I don't know if that's the same thing. No, Manny, not from what I heard. Nothing. Well, nothing yet. I know somebody said he's guilty on everything else, but they have to go back in this morning for that one that was in question. So, I mean, even when they come back with the verdict on that one in question, it's not gonna change the fact that they found him guilty on all the other ones.
It was a racketeering that they
Right.
couldn't come to an agreement on, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I seen one of the I don't know, I don't think they're news, but the ones that stand outside the courthouse and go live and talk about things on TikTok, that the verdict came in on the other ones guilty, life in prison or whatnot, but that one they still have to go back in and determine. So if they already found him guilty, life in prison on all the other ones, I don't see how that one thing coming back would change any of it. So,
What's it gonna matter unless they try
and
to
I
do a
already,
mistrial?
they're sharing like crazy the post or the video this morning that his daughter posted. Not one of the post or the video this morning that his daughter posted. Not one of the twins, that the little short one that was in the middle, posted a video this morning on what she thinks about him, how she feels about him, and what he did, and how she will be changing her last name to her mother. So you could already tell it's affected the children at this point.
Yeah, so they could. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Am I muted?
No, we hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was having, since I got that phone call, I was having problems with my earbud. So they found, they have unanimous verdicts for 4. The 5th one for racketeering, they sent the jury back to try to do a verdict. I know if they still can't back to try to do a verdict. I know if they still can't find a verdict on that one, they can choose to either send them back again or do a split decision to where they make the decisions on the 4 and then they do a mistrial on the racketeering.
Yeah, but that one verdict that they're waiting on can't overturn the 4 verdicts for life in prison. I mean, at this point, it really doesn't matter what they decide. It's done. I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty much done.
Well, yeah, if they found them guilty on the first 4, the racketeering really isn't going to matter. I don't think.
And racketeering is like really bad, right?
Right. And I was watching the person that was live this morning. I think the mother showed up, but the children have not. From what I saw.
Yeah, that's where you start or own a business for illegal activities.
Okay.
Yes, charge 1 was automatic life in prison. All 4 of them actually. It's just that last one, but even whatever they decide on that last one can't overturn what the judge has already ordered.
Were y'all talking about that the thing that we've been waiting on to see about if the taxes quit getting taken out of overtime? You get quit. Jesus, I cannot speak this morning. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Well, she was talking on that, but I was on mute, and that's when I came back and asked her, was she talking about like taxes of the payroll checks? Because I remember right when he signed that order, it wasn't but a day or so after that I started seeing a reflection on my payroll check that the taxes don't come out. So I really didn't get a true answer from her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Does anybody know, like, in the comments what's happening with that? Because my husband, he works at least 30 to 40 hours of overtime every 2 weeks, and he's still been getting taxed very heavily.
Yeah, that's what she was just saying. The bill passed that they will no longer be taxing on the overtime.
So as of now, they will be no longer be taxing on overtime.
Right.
Good.
Yep.
Some people might not like it, but
House passed it. It goes to Senate now. Okay.
Okay. Goes to Senate. So
I thought the House had already passed, or the Senate had already passed it.
So if the Senate passes it, then it's a go completely, right?
I don't ever have enough time in a day to listen to this, so I get
I
all the updates from y'all.
I don't like watch the news or anything like that. That's the reason why, I get all my, like crime news from y'all, all this from y'all, So,
I'm wondering that too, Dawn. Would that be considered overtime or just, still a straight bonus?
yeah, I wonder that
I
as
would
well.
consider that overtime since it's outside of your
Outside of your
40
normal
week
40.
payroll check.
Yeah,
That's what I would think.
I would hope so.
Because I don't think, I mean, usually some companies, like, say, Christmas bonuses, say, Christmas bonuses or whatnot, they give out like cash or uh, gift cards and stuff like that. But like bonuses, like if you would hit a level or something for work, it shouldn't, if it's considered overtime, that shouldn't be taxed either. And
I
that's probably
agree.
going to be like when they sign the bill, I'm pretty sure they'll talk about that in the fine line of at the bottom, fine word reading and all that.
Yeah, the fine print.
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm gonna tell you, before my husband switched jobs, he switched jobs back towards the end of last year.
When did Shannon do that to Andrew?
Um,
When did Shannon do that to Andrew?
that stuff with the money stuff, it was back in December of 2024. Jesus.
No, they're saying that Shannon
Oh.
tried to pay Andrew by scamming him with his email.
Oh, that happened on Sunday. That happened on Sunday. You remember the day that she went live or whatever, and she was like, I will pay you half on Tuesday and half on Thursday?
Right.
Well, she tried to send him an e-gift card on Sunday. She got his email or whatever, tried to send him an e-gift card,
Oh, Too
but
Tall's got it posted. Okay.
yeah,
I mean, I
from
know
what
we
it
was
looks
listening
like,
to her live yesterday where, they were playing
talking to
videos
her,
and talking
yeah,
about it, but
yeah,
live yesterday where, they were playing
talking to
videos
her,
and talking
yeah,
about it. But
yes.
when you get everybody so much in an uproar and everybody's screaming and yelling, it's so hard to
It's
hear
so hard,
everything.
yeah. I agree with that. It's so hard to keep up with whatever.
And the fact of the matter, it's not about them, it's about Andrew, and that's who I would really like to hear the information on. Instead
so
of,
according to them, Shannon was supposed to use her email to make an account on ecard.com
the e-gift
or
card
whatever.
website or
okay.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and instead she used
Use his.
Andrew's
Right.
email address, then put $400 in the cart, and instead she used
Use his.
Andrew's
Right.
email address, then put $400 in the cart and left it there to make it look like
She sent it.
Andrew had gotten $400.
Yep.
Okay, that's sickening.
Yeah, it's gross.
Okay, on the big beautiful bill.
Yeah, tell me, girl.
Since I can finally get up here, I couldn't. My phone keeps losing signal for some reason. So it's backwards. It's past the Senate. Now it goes to the House for the House to vote on it.
Okay.
Today?
The House previously passed a version of it, but not the same version that the Senate has. So likely they'll pass it with a few provisions to it or whatever. They have until July 4th for it to be passed and sent to the president for him to sign it into action or whatever. And if they sign it the way it is right now, it's 887 pages. So
Yes, it's a lot.
just
Not
summing up,
not
just
necessarily.
summing up the main part.
Sorry.
They will take away on overtime pay and people who work for tips.
Yeah.
Those those two things will not have taxes on them. Your regular wages will have taxes, but those things do not. It doesn't specify about bonuses or anything like that. I would assume that somewhere in the 887 pages it does, but to me, a bonus is basically overtime. So one would
I,
think that there wouldn't be overtime or it wouldn't be taxes
No
on
tax on
well,
it.
that's just
bonuses.
thing. I thought it was anything that was check or deposit form that would be considered a 1099. I mean, not a W-2. My
A
bad.
W-2.
Um,
And then,
that could not be taxed, is from my understanding, from what I heard. And if I'm wrong, I apologize.
no, you're fine. And then they're changing the age requirements to receive food stamps. And you have to work so many hours or whatever. Same thing with Medicaid. Medicaid's going to have a huge deduction. And in that huge deduction, excuse me, many states are going to have facilities that have to shut down because they're pretty much funded by Medicaid. But that's supposed to happen over the course. Between the bill passing and 2032. So it may be a little slower to get there. And then they're going to give $100 to immigrants who are seeking asylum instead of $1,000. They're increasing the state and local tax deductions from $10,000 to $40,000 for the next 5 years.
What does that mean?
And it means you'll not pay as much on income taxes. So, like if you've paid in $12,000,
I like that.
yeah, that part of it will be good. And that's only going to be for 5 years. And then
I'm
Okay.
actually waiting for the thing that's supposed to come through where all the like blue collars are supposed to not be having to pay taxes at all. Like
That's what
police
that's what I
officers.
was about to say. I think this is more geared to help the low income as much as possible. Income as much as possible, then hurt them.
Yeah.
And again, if I'm wrong, I apologize. That's why I've been just sitting back waiting for everything to unfold, because just in my checks, let alone from what I see, he's not hurting me. If anything, it's helping my situation. So I don't know.
this
I don't know.
this says that the limit on overtime and tip deductions, it would only be through 2028. So basically,
Till
year and
he's
a
out of
half, 2
office.
years.
Or yeah.
And it says that you'll still have to pay state and local taxes. You just won't have to pay federal taxes on those.
Federal taxes is what kicks our ass anyway.
So if you're not paying federal taxes, are
You're
you
just you have
you're
to
not
pay
going
more
to
to your
see a
state.
federal refund?
Well, that's the thing. You won't be entitled to a federal refund on that because you didn't pay anything in.
So
But
what you would get back
you
in
would
your
be able
federal,
to get a
you're
state
just going to get
refund though.
every day in your normal life because it's not coming out of your check.
Right.
Which, I mean, what is a big dramatic change either way? And it's not being taxed. You're getting all of it.
You're just getting it up front versus
You're
waiting
getting
till tax
exactly.
season.
Right.
You're getting it now versus waiting until
Waiting a
April
whole year.
or
Yep.
whatever. Yeah. So
And then, you got to think about it, because you have to wait that whole year just to go file income taxes. And I don't know about
And
everybody
pay to
else, but
file them.
some tax people are not cheap.
no.
And so if you don't pay up front right then and there, and you choose to have it taken out your taxes, you're losing there.
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I don't know. I don't like to complain about anything. I
Well,
really
this
don't.
is the thing, though. This says that the the House and Senate can't agree on
Not yet.
the
Shut the front
income
door.
limit for it. So, like, basically, one of them says anybody with an annual income of $160,000 or less qualifies for that tax break on overtime and tips.
Jesus Christ! Even
But
whenever my husband had his
anybody,
last
like,
job, he didn't make that much.
Mandy is messaging me, and she said guilty on charges 2 and 4 and 1 so far.
What is charges 2, 4, and 1? I'm sorry.
That I don't know. She's just messaging me on the back end, so that means we're still waiting on. I mean,
Charges 3.
Shut the Front Door says not guilty on counts 1, 2, and 4. A full verdict has been reached, and that he is not guilty on the racketeering.
What the world? This is so confusing,
yeah, because
guys.
people were outside that courthouse yesterday. That verdicts came in that he was guilty life in prison. So if they're falsely reporting stuff outside the courthouse
That's
up
not
there,
good.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm googling it, and I'm not seeing anything new.
Yeah, you can't go from guilty to not guilty overnight.
Overnight, yeah.
No, there's no way.
Where are you getting that from? Not shut the front door. 'Cause it would be all over Google.
Yeah, because
Breaking news
Mandy,
on ABC.
hang on. Mandy's saying it's live now, and it's guilty on charges 1, 2, and 4. So charges 3 and the racketeering charges have not been spoke on yet. So are y'all not?
One door's getting it from TMZ. Turn on national news. Oh, somebody's reading CNN.
It was falsely reported yesterday?
That is not good. That is not good.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. The TikTok people standing outside the courthouse saying all kind of stuff, and everybody just is listening, and it's like, my goodness.
Listen, I don't mind that the TikTokers, these reporters of TikTok, whatever, if they want to report stuff. But let's at least wait to get the truth, people.
Yeah. Because like I said, the daughter even made a whole video this morning about her dad. This is crazy.
Okay, so there's I don't know, because I went to the CBS website, and they're still saying that there was a partial verdict, and they sent the jury back to deliberate.
Yeah.
ABC News has it.
Yeah, and CNN apparently.
ABC News says that he's not guilty 5 minutes ago of the.
Of the what? Of the racketeering? Girl, you
I guess we're not going to know unless he walks out the courthouse and everybody takes pictures, okay?
Yeah. Then we will know.
Because all the news stations are broadcasting something different at this point.
Oh,
Let's just see if he walks out.
I'm gonna send it to Dora real quick.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm gonna bring it up on my tablet and play, because it's a video.
I don't have camera access, or I'd show the verdict right here. No offense, but if he walks out the courthouse, I'm gonna lose it because he did some very icky things. I don't think he will. I think he'll still get life in prison on count 5. Okay, good. And that's what, 20 years? Life. Okay. That's what this court specialist is saying now.
Good.
The defense is arguing. I'm sure they're going to fight.
Not sex trafficking, and the jury seems to have agreed. And Sean Combs is clearly taking this outcome of a split verdict guilty on only the transportation for the purposes of prostitution charges as a win. The jury has been excused as the 8 men and 4 women stood to leave their seats.
Guilty
Sean Combs
on
made
3
praying
and
hands in
5.
their direction and bowed his head
Transportation
slightly
to engage
as
in
if to say thank
prostitution,
you.
not guilty
When
in
the
everything
outcome
else.
was read aloud in court, Combs put his hands in the air and looked to the ceiling, clearly taking this as a win that he was acquitted on the most serious charges he faced, Kira.
He sure
And now I
was.
understand, Aaron, his attorney
That makes me mad.
released today. Could that happen?
Well, it could happen because he has already served about a year's time, a little shy of a year, and there will be a sentencing date. What the defense is likely arguing is that he is now no longer has anything to do with a violent crime. Transportation for the purposes of prostitution carries a maximum sentence of 10 years, a minimum of nothing. So it will be up to the judge to decide. But where he is no longer accused of a violent crime, the defense may have a good case to get him released until he is formally sentenced. If that happens, it's possible he could walk right out the golden doors here. Certainly a number of his supporters and others are waiting. Members of his family were certainly elated. They were not allowed to show any emotion, but they are remaining in the courtroom to see what happens, what the judge ultimately decides, Kira.
Brian, your thoughts on the fact that he could be released today?
So at the beginning of this case, when Sean Combs was charged with sex trafficking, that is a charge that has the assumption that someone should be held pending prosecution. That assumption is gone now because he's been found not guilty of those 2 charges. And to piggyback up what Aaron is saying, the severity of his punishment has greatly decreased. He's no longer looking at life. He's looking at a max of 10 years on each count. Some of that time he's already served while waiting for this case. Mark Agnifilo, the defense attorney who's leading this case, has said that his private plane is in Maui. He has no access to it. So he's hinting at the idea of a number of things that a judge will consider when thinking about bail. Is this person a flight risk? How serious of a sentence are they looking at? And flight risk goes into 2 portions. The actual ability to fly and not come back to the jurisdiction, but also the likelihood of doing that. A person who's facing life, more likely to be a flight risk. A person who's just beaten 3 of the 5 top counts in a trial like this and is only facing 10 years, far less of a flight risk. And so while I think it's somewhat of a Hail Mary for him to be released today, this is the strongest possible outcome that he could have had to make this argument. And I think the defense has a leg to stand on in making this argument that Sean Combs should be released pending the sentence.
Let me ask you, Brian, because you and I were talking for days about the videos, the just how explicit they were, how Sean Combs treated these women, listening to Cassie Ventura break down on the stand, listening to other women, former girlfriends, talk about the way he treated women. I brought this question to Aaron, but I want to ask you as well, as someone who's an attorney, someone who has been in the courtroom for cases that involve domestic violence, knowing what we know about what happened and how he treated these women, and now looking at this outcome, how he's been acquitted on the most serious charges, your overall thoughts moving forward about what this says about the Me Too movement, the power of a music mogul when he has money, when he has fame. Your thoughts?
So my thoughts, I think I try to go beyond just being an attorney, and I'll try to sidestep them and just talk as a man, as an adult. I think there can be no mixing of words as to what Sean Combs is when it comes to the treatment of women. Full stop, period. There's no question as to what we saw in terms of the strength of the women who took the stand and testified about the abuse that happened to them. There's no question about the photos we saw of Cassie in terms of the bruising of her body, the bruising of her face, and the violence in that Intercontinental Hotel. Full stop. There's no justification of that. There's no explanation of that. And I think in terms of the Me Too movement, there should be strength in the fact that those women were believed in terms of what they said. Putting my attorney hat back on for a moment, I think the difficulty of this and what may be perceived, and I hope it's a perception and not a reality, of the Me Too movement taking a step back based on this verdict, I think it comes from the overreaching of the government in this case, of trying to fit the allegations of this case into a RICO conspiracy, made it that much less palatable for the jury to take what they were saying to be true. And I think that might have also affected, in some way, shape, or form, the trafficking as well.
So
Let's say that.
even all the videos they had and all the people that testified and everything, that's just like nothing now.
Are you fucking kidding
Transportation.
me?
That makes me sad. So I mean, technically, if I think I'm right, he could get a max of 10 years, but a minimum of nothing. He could leave today.
Yeah, he can.
Fuck.
The minimum is nothing, and if they give him like a year, they can give him time served,
It's already.
and he'll walk out.
This makes me sick.
Where was this at? Where's it at, Dora? What state?
I thought it was in New York.
Oh, I'm pissed, bitch. I'm pissed.
That's why, because I know that Luigi Mangioni's attorney is supposed to be like a shark. So I'm sure that Diddy's just like that as well.
Yeah, and Diddy's attorney got off a famous rapper for murder. So what do you like? What?
Like, I mean, I get it, that's their job, but come on, man, look at the freaking videos. Listen to the people.
If they let this motherfucker, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, money talks, but
What's the matter?
Diddy not guilty
What?
on 3. On the other charges, only guilty of 2. So he could possibly walk today.
Yeah, because they took the major charges that were like life sentences off.
Of course they did.
So it looks like it would be up to 10 years. So from nothing to 10 years.
And in federal, he only has to do 80% of that.
Yep.
Of that.
Yep. Because none of them are a.
He could get out in like 4 years.
Yep. As long as none of them are like violent.
Yeah. So here's the thing: if they can in the sentence, put both of those penalties to run. Is it concurrently or?
The thing on my chair.
I think concurrently is where they run together. So it would just be 10 years total instead of 20.
Boo.
10 years total instead of 20.
Boo. Boo.
Yeah.
2 minutes ago, defense asked Combs to be released.
Damn it. But
Well,
you know what?
who'd have thunk it?
If he gets released, I mean, I truly believe his career is going to be
If he
over.
gets released, a lot of people are going to come up on a live watch.
Yep. Yeah,
If the
because they all
defense,
went against him.
I mean, they already have his passport, so he's not. They wouldn't consider him a flight risk, which is why the defense asked him to be released.
Yeah. So, I mean, he can't go overseas or something, but still, a lot of people.
11 minutes ago, mixed verdict for Combs. The defense won 3 acquittals, with Combs found guilty of the Mann Act transportation on Cassie Ventura and Jane. He was found not guilty of running a criminal enterprise and 2 counts of sex trafficking.
I told y'all.
He was only found guilty for the act of transportation. He was found not guilty on sex trafficking the former girlfriend.
Wow.
How many out of all of the trials that
And he was found
has
not
been
guilty against Cassie Ventura. And Cassie Ventura is the one that spoke for fucking hours that the video footage is out there of him dragging her by the fucking head. And he was found not guilty. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
She testified for days, Dora.
Now, is Cassie the one that wrote the book?
No, Cassie is the one that he beat up in the hotel. He was found not guilty on that.
I mean,
Which was count 2. He was found guilty of the sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura, not guilty. The verdict just came back.
Well, I mean, I told you, out of all the trials that they've ever had of celebrities, how many are serving sentences that are long?
And he was also found not guilty on count 1, which was conspiracy and racketeering.
Yep.
So he was found not guilty on count 1, count 2, count 4. He was only found guilty on 2 charges, which is the Mann Act of transportation. That was against Cassie and Jane Doe. That was it. That's all he'll get trial for.
that's horrible.
So I don't understand why they were having such a hard time with racketeering if they had already found him not guilty on the other
On
two
the
major
other
ones.
2 majors. I don't know.
Yep.
Money.
She's right. It's money. Money talks.
Bullshit walks.
That's right.
I could not fuck. Oh, I'm pissed.
Girl, if that happened to some of my boss's clients, I'm gonna be straight with you. They would be under the jailhouse for the rest of their life.
If that was a regular person,
regular
not a
person.
celebrity,
Yep.
they would have been found guilty on all counts.
Charges.
Yep.
Yep. And everybody knows it. Even the celebrities know that.
I'm watching the update, and they've asked for his release. Oh, guess what? The judge is going to give it a couple of hours to decide on his release. Just in.
What?
Does the judge decide that, or does the jury decide that?
The judge granted prosecutors a few hours to write a letter stating their case to deny Combs' bail on the Mann Act conviction. Comey asked for a few hours to prepare their argument, and the judge agreed to take submissions on the matter from both government and defense at 1 p.m.
Oh.
Wow. 1 p.m. What time is it? Are they in New York?
1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Yep. They'll let him out. Watch. Watch and see if they don't.
my dog.
Girl, he having fun outside.
Stop that.
And if they let him out today, he'll be in a hotel using baby oil by tonight.
Yep.
Watch.
Tonight. Stop. What are you barking at?
He'll be having one of his famous Diddy parties, whatever he called them again.
Yep.
That's so gross. I'm just disgusted. Just disgusted.
It's fucking wild to me how you can literally find him only guilty of 2 fucking charges.
Of the really and truly, like, those were like, considering the other charges, those were bullshit charges. And that's the reason why.
Those are fucking bare minimum.
Yeah,
compared
that's the
to
reason
what
why they found
he
him
was
guilty
facing.
on those. You know, because they knew that those were the lesser ones. You know what I'm saying?
Well, of course.
Sick.
Well, they were gonna find him guilty on something, so they don't look so bad.
God, I hope not. But you, Ray, probably
You know his whole entire family and everybody else in there is thrilled with that shit. So that he can get right back to the same bullshit.
Yep. Well, I mean, his whole family, I think, was pretty much funded by him.
Well, they were. Mm-hmm.
Like his mama and everything like that, you know?
Oh, I'm pissed.
This sucks.
Yep. It's all over the news right now. Of course it is.
Girl, I think I'm gonna make tacos for dinner too.
Oh, I'm mad.
Well, they're innocent until proven guilty, so.
Prosecution asked for Combs to remain in custody, but the judge is going to allow them to do an argument at 1 p.m. and then base his decision off of that.
Oh, they'll release him. I mean, if they are in possession of his passport and he has no way to get out of the country, they'll let him out.
It says prosecutor Comney said the government will seek a 20-year maximum.
Yeah, that's all they can. 10 years each. But they can run that concurrently where he serves it together. 10 years.
Oh, Combs falls to the floor, praising.
I bet he does.
2 minutes ago, Combs falls to his knees praying while family applauds in the courtroom.
I thought they weren't supposed to have a reaction. Such a while here.
Listen to this bullshit. Combs was on his knees in the courtroom while his head is down in the chair, praying, avoiding life in prison to the highest charges. His family stood in the background cheering and clapping, while the defense attorneys hugged each other and Combs hugged his lawyer.
Yep, exactly. Leslie.
Rob,
Exactly.
you mute while I'm driving.
Okay. Fucking bastard. Oh, I'm so damn mad. Have they lost their fucking mind?
Yes. I know, not that Shannon. Just gross,
Well,
man.
they're saying that these women only did this for money.
Yeah. That's not the case, though.
And if you saw TMZ's video, that would explain why this motherfucker's about to get off. Do you remember the woman that came out that his recent girlfriend came out and testified and blah, blah, blase, blase? Well, they caught her at the mall the other day and did an interview, and she's like, oh, he never did anything dangerous to me.
Oh my God.
And this is why we're here. Guaranteed. So you're going to fucking null and void what Cassie went through?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? When there's video evidence.
That's the bad thing about it is Cassie shouldn't have to go into hiding. I know why you're saying that. Because, I mean, hello. Whenever if he gets out, she probably gonna end up,
Well, 1 minute ago, update, the courtroom clears out till afternoon. The courtroom is clearing out as the judge awaits submissions from both prosecutor and defense whether or not release Combe on bail until his sentencing.
I hope that everybody does have a lawsuit.
And you know that if they release him on bail till his sentencing, you already fucking know that the sentencing's going to be a slap on the hand.
Yep.
Be for real.
Yeah.
Well, Dora, I guess you did hear the news. I messaged you and asked if you did.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm
some
watching it.
bullshit.
I'm pissed. Oh, I'm pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I already called Mafia Mama, and she's on her way back from vacation, and she said, if they lost their fucking mind. She's pissed.
Well, because what he did to his ex-girlfriend that was on...
Absolutely, Shannon. His attorney is the same attorney that got a famous rapper off of a major murder charge.
Well, what he did to his ex-girlfriend that was on tape, plus
Nanity at 1 o'clock today will they decide if Diddy's going to be released out of federal custody until his sentencing. And I guarantee you they'll push his sentencing out for a year or so. Watch.
Yep.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Golly. This is ridiculous.
They might make him wear an ankle monitor or report to somebody, but that's about it.
Maybe.
They'll just tell him he can't travel outside the state, outside of the country. Yeah, he's facing 20, but it's going to be a slap on the fucking wrist. They'll slap his ass and send him on his way out with a bottle of baby oil.
Yep. Jumbo
Watch.
size and Sam's.
Yep. 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 Because he's been in there for close to what? Fucking like 9 months now.
Yeah, it's really getting really close to a year.
They'll count that as towards
Time
time.
served. That is time served.
And with federal, if he did so much time, then even if he is charged the 10 years for the counts, he'll get out in 4.
Yep.
That ain't nothing. He'll get out in 4 on good behavior.
Which would be technically be about 3 at this point since he's already almost served a year.
Yep.
Because none of his counts that he was guilty on were violent offenses. Whenever they are violent offenses, you can't use the 80%
Won't be surprised
rule.
if you don't see Cassie Ventura coming down with pneumonia.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Agree.
And Jane Doe.
Something will happen to her. Yep.
Yep. Something tragic will happen.
Yep.
Clive Davis. It says, it's on the news right now. It says Sean Diddy Combs guilty on only 2 counts, not guilty on most serious charges. So the first count was racketeering. That's not guilty. Count 2 was trafficking by force, not guilty. Or coercion, not guilty. Count 3, transportation to engage in prostitution, guilty. Count 4, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, not guilty. Count 5, transportation to engage in prostitution. He only got transportation to engage in prostitution charges.
Oh yeah, mom of a baseball player. She gonna have to
Jaguar
work.
Wright's gonna be fucking livid.
Yeah.
That woman, she better go into hiding.
Yeah, because she's been out with a lot of videos.
Yep, he got off on the most serious charges.
Yep.
He was found not guilty by forcing the women to act. He was found not guilty on that. How is that fucking possible?
I have no idea.
Correct. Leslie, correct.
I want to know how he didn't get like attempted kidnapping with his ex-girlfriend when he was not letting her leave.
Okay.
He was found not guilty on the charges of forcing the women to do the acts.
Yep.
Or coercion.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking kidding me? When his home was full of rugs that he put in their drink to drug them up?
What have like? Didn't he have like horse tranquilizers and whatnot in there? I don't know, man. This just makes me sad for the justice system.
Yeah, of course money talks. They sliding it under the table, but all these victims now have to worry about their life, right?
Yes, all these victims and even I'm sure the victims' families and everything like that.
Yeah, if you don't think that man's capable of doing the shit again, he'll be doing it tonight if he's released. Oh, they're having a party outside the courthouse right now.
Oh, and now it's open season for all the other ones that do shit like this.
Yeah. We're like, well, he got off, so we'll probably get off too.
Crowd reacts to Combs' verdict outside federal courthouse. They're cheering and clapping and having a whole fucking party.
Wow.
This sucks.
Agree.
I'm so fucking. Oh.
Oh, that's gross, Nancy.
Yep. Yep. Exactly, Nikki. This is why women do not fucking talk about their experiences because of bullshit like this. I'm so mad. I fucking. Ooh. Let me be in New York. Shit. Some bullshit.
Right, Nikki.
You know that judge is logging into social media to see what everybody's saying?
Yep.
Shit. So you're gonna fucking basically sit there and deny these victims of what their story was because they have. Oh, bitch. Oh, man. I'm so damn mad.
All right, guys. I'm at work, so I gotta get off. I will be back. All right, guys. I'm at work, so I gotta get off. I will be back after I get off, and we will do some battling
Oh,
tonight.
I'm going on because I'm fucking pissed.
I
Dory,
knew you
you'll let
would.
us know about at 1 o'clock about what they say.
Oh,
She'll be
yeah,
on.
girl.
She's going live.
Okay.
I'm fucking pissed.
Yep. So y'all go to Dora. Be sure to go to Dora's live, and I will see y'all this afternoon.
Yeah. Have a good day,
Thank
hon.
y'all.
You're
Y'all
welcome.
have a good day as well. Love y'all. Bye, wifey.